sight.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ross Patterson Revolution! Brought to you by BlackRifleCoffee.com. Weird time in America, Jabes.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
I don't really notice stuff.
I know you don't. The internet does not exist in your world. Fear does not exist in this dojo. It's a lot like Sensei John Kreese. Or Cleese. Of the Miyagi. No, Miyagi dojo. The Miyagi. No, that's very Karate Kid of you. Yeah. This story is wild. So woke up to this today. We're recording on a Monday because we're on baby watch.
Panda watch.
6 days away from the due date. So we're kind of trying to catch up a little bit.
How many days away from the date that you're pressuring me to?
Two. We're 48 hours.
Okay, so we're 48 hours.
I'm not pressuring you. I just think that would be a cool birth date.
But you say it a lot, and it's like, so what do we think?
You know what else I said 4 years ago? The birth date of our other child, and guess what? It happened. If you give up things to the universe, they come. What's the fucking Pinterest thing? If you put it out in the universe, they come back to you. Yeah, the secret. The secret.
You just put it out there. You put out.
So I'd like 8818 since we have 4414 on the other one. That'd be nice.
Okay.
It'd be a nice thing. So you're super
get to work.
Annoyed by it, but
yeah, because I'm at the end. So annoying, like being annoyed. Being annoyed is just part of my life right now.
Is it weird doing a podcast 6 days before you're about to have a baby?
Yeah.
But physically, you feel fine, right?
Sure. Some cramping and, just a general
but you feel fine.
Tiredness, right? And nauseousness and but other than that.
Because you look great.
Totally normal.
No one would notice. You know what I'm saying? No, but we woke up to this story this morning and I really want to hop into this. I know we're sponsors. We'll have to wait again, but
they know the deal at this point.
Yeah. Alex Jones.
Right.
It was a coordinated attack at 3 a.m. last night. They removed Infowars from Apple. So no more podcast of Infowars on iTunes. They removed it from Facebook, permanently banning the pages, by the way. This isn't like a 30-day slap on the wrist or anything like that. Gone.
Does this happen just to people that we don't know about? Like really horrible?
Yes, and I'll get to that in a second. So, and then Spotify.
Okay.
Also banned, and when I say banned, I mean they took off every show. Look, I have 2 shows combined. I've done, I think, 300 on Drinking Bros and somewhere in the 250 area here. We're looking at 550 shows. If somebody nuked out the show and all of the back catalogs of all of this, I don't know what would happen. Oh, YouTube was the other one. So YouTube took down all of his videos. And
you were saying like all these companies don't ever communicate. Like they never get together on stuff and they decide things.
They treat each other like Russia, where they don't trust
companies.
Competing companies. They don't trust one another.
Yeah.
They never come together. I think Trump got them together right after he got elected for a summit. I think he got Bezos together. Bill Gates and Tim Cook, and that was like monumental. Where it was just like, holy shit, all these people. Zuckerberg were in the same room at the same time, and because you never see it. To get together for a coordinated attack against a podcast, because that's what it is, is insane to me. To me, because it says here that Apple is saying that the notification that was screenshotted and sent out to everybody was that they are banning him for hate speech. I don't understand that at all. There's a lot of things that can be considered hate speech. A lot of podcasts, a lot of TV shows. Me personally, and this is just me personally, I consider CNN hate speech. If you watch some of the panels on there, the hatred that these people are spitting out, whether or not it's informational or entertainment, is up to the viewer to decide. Therefore, like, great, I understand why CNN's on the air, but the same thing with Infowars and Alex Jones. I don't think anyone should decide what hate speech is, unless you're encouraging bombing or killings or, mass destruction. To me, that's just censorship. And
so what is hate speech to you?
I'll get to that, but with iTunes in general, for anybody in the podcast world or whatever, 94%, because we get the analytics from all of our shows, 94% of your audience comes from iTunes. If you have a huge video show, which subscribe to our show on YouTube, we're trying to. Infowars has a massive channel, or they did, on YouTube. To put it in perspective of how big Infowars is, Joe Rogan is bringing in audio listens and video views 90 million a week. He is bigger than CNN, New York Times, anything you could possibly imagine. Yeah. He's bigger than Howard Stern. Joe Rogan is number one. If you look at podcast rankings in other countries, Rogan's like number one in like 10 other countries that don't even speak English. So, which is crazy to me. Number two is Alex Jones at 35 million. 35 million audio and video views combined a week. He is more than considered a conservative, obviously. The timing of this I find extremely curious because we're first week of August. Midterm elections are coming up in 2 months, 3 months, less than 3 months at this point. Now's the time where everybody's going to start really campaigning hard, not only online, but on television. You're going to start to see these shitty ads pop up that we hate every single year. Don't vote for so-and-so. They lied. They burned babies. Right. We're just like, oh my God. So get ready for the next, 3 months of that for the midterm elections. But nuking out your biggest conservative show right before midterm elections and deeming it hate speech is crazy to me. And you would ask me, what do I deem as hate speech? I deem Nazis or white supremacists getting to get like that type of hate speech of, hey, we should kill fucking black people or, pedophiles or things of that nature is like true hate speech. Mm-hmm. I view Alex Jones as purely entertainment. I think there's probably a kernel of truth in some things that he says, but other things are completely fucking ridiculous. Like the Sandy Hook deniers, mm-hmm. which, he is and or was. I'm not really sure because, we saw that 60 Minutes interview with him on Megyn Kelly, and everybody's entitled to their own opinions, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I do not agree with Alex Jones' shit, like half of it. The other half of it, could be plausible. Mm-hmm. But I view him personally as nothing more than entertainment. Same way as I view any other podcast. Same as I view CNN or Fox News or anything else. It is pure entertainment. I think that those outlets have stopped reporting the news in a fair and just manner altogether. They've each chosen their side, which is fine. But, again, going back to the CNN thing, watch CNN all day long. The stories that pop up, like it is anti-Trump 24/7, Trump. No matter what happens in the world, it will then go back to Trump. Partially, it's for ratings because that's what sells, and that's their audience who's watching that channel. But if you listen to the hatred of some of the guest speakers that they have come on or their panelists or whatever, could be viewed as hate speech. You could also say the same thing about Fox News, where, there is people on Fox News with ridiculous views. Same as CNN, where it's just like a lot of those panelists, you could sit there and watch that and say, fuck, man, that sounds pretty hateful. Mm-hmm. It sounds like hate speech to me. You could look at Bill Maher in that same breath and say, fuck, I don't agree with anything he's saying. I mean, he has come on air 4 times this year and said, I hope the economy tanks because that's the only way you can get Trump out of office. You're physically rooting for people to get to lose their jobs, essentially. Mm-hmm. Is that not hate speech? Like, what is deemed as hate speech, in my opinion? And the reason why I'm posing this question to you is when these things with Alex Jones got released, it said you were banned for hate speech, and they had a vague description of what they're saying it is. I don't know what hate speech is. Like it's whatever's defined by the person.
What's their vague description?
I'm actually gonna pull this up right now.
So while you're pulling that up, I'm just like of two minds where, I mean, he's a crackpot. But yeah, it's a dangerous road. But at some point you do have to, like, we can't be so afraid of censorship that we let people, like, for example, Jim Jones, we should have probably banned, should have kind of got in there and censored him. You know what I'm saying? So like, and Alex Jones is a little bit cultish where he actually gets people together. The Pizzagate thing, like that guy shooting up, that he gets people to do things and calls to arms. And I understand, and you think, you and I both are like, it's entertaining. There's a lot of people that don't think of it as entertaining. They think of it as law and Bible and everything. And so, but at the same time, I don't want censorship. So, but if you're so afraid of censorship, do you let these like crazy things go on? Where the Sandy Hook thing, he ended up getting this, group of people to harass the families and take videos of them and, get them to really like do these horrible things to these families.
But he didn't say go to their house and film.
Yes, he did.
He did.
Yes.
Okay.
He said, wait outside their house. I need these videos. Videotape them, ask them, get the answers, get to the bottom of it, like assembling an army. And, for the most part, yes, he's entertaining. He's like, whatever. I don't care what he talks about. It's when he preys on vulnerable people, disenfranchised, like people that are just like pissed, which are a lot of people. And he's, preying on them and getting them to do things that, is a little bit cultish to me. But again, I hear you.
Isn't that what CNN is doing every day?
No, CNN is not asking people to go to families' houses, wait outside.
But that's incorrect. Because you take Maxine Waters, the Democrat thing. She said you need to go out, find these people at restaurants, any Republicans, get in their face, shut them down.
Right.
She's in Senate, for fuck's sakes.
Right.
So she's on CNN's. That's where she came on to talk about this. You need to go out and get in these people's faces at restaurants, at places. This was right after the Sarah Sanders Huckabee thing with that Red Hen restaurant.
Right.
Isn't that the same thing?
Yeah, I definitely, anytime you're doing that, but, should she be gone too for stuff like that? Yeah. Like, that's the thing that you have to separate is like the preying on the vulnerable and getting them to do your bidding and like people getting hurt. The guy in, the Pizzagate thing, the guy going into that place and shooting up and shooting it up. Like people could have gotten hurt because of something that he was told to do. Not that
guy wasn't specifically told to go in and shoot up that place, but he was listening to the show.
Right. And he was like riled up and he was like, we got to do something. You guys, we got to blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know what Alex Jones said, but
there's a ton of celebrities on Twitter. Mm-hmm. There is a ton of, again Maxine Waters, like she's one of the faces of the Democratic Party telling you to go get in these people's faces. They're protesting outside of who was that woman's home in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
I went to her house.
Right.
Went to her fucking house.
Like that shit is not cool on both sides. And that's where I say get rid of them. But at the same time, like it is just words and people decide to do what they want to do. And so it's a very like, again, like I'm of two minds. Like I don't want people to be censored.
But then you have to do it on both sides.
Yeah.
Boy, to me, this is a really slippery slope.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with that.
Unless you're, going out and telling people to kill people or assemble armies outside their house, whatever. Like, I don't agree with censoring anyone to that point because again, there is a lot of people who could be construed as spewing hate on our news. Like, so what do you do? I just pulled this up and it says Apple does not, this was in regards to the polling of Infowars. Yeah. Apple does not tolerate hate speech. We have clear guidelines that creators and developers must follow to ensure we provide a safe environment for all of our users. Podcasts that violate these guidelines are removed from our directory, making them no longer searchable or available to download or streaming. We believe in representing a wide range of views, so long as people are respectful to those with differing opinions.
Oh, that's vague.
Not only is it super vague, but respectful to those with differing opinions. You can pull up 1,000 podcasts on Apple right now, and with people who are not respectful to other people's opinions. Should they all be pulled? Mm. I mean, look, you have, what is it? The last pod on the left or whatever the fuck that is of like, that's just literally saying everybody from the right is fucking crazy. All of this shit is, they're Nazis. I mean, if you just took how many people on the left called people on the right Nazis.
Yeah.
In all your podcasts, isn't that hate speech? Because, I mean, you're comparing another person or a party to Nazis. Over and over and over again. Why are these people not getting yanked?
Right.
The other one, and this is another big one, because we talked about this on our show about shadow banning. And I was like, man, I think I got shadow banned on Twitter. A bunch of our guests have written in, have said the same thing of like, hey, man, this is happening to me on Facebook and Twitter. Here's my numbers. Here's my thing. And like, I've gone to their page to check it out. And sure enough, it's happening. One of my best friends, and obviously co-host of Drinking Bros podcast, but just best friends in real life, is Matt Best. Matt Best has one of the biggest social media followings online. Not only is he number one in the military space, but he's got just in general one of the biggest social media followings online. He was averaging up until this past year. This started about a year ago. He was averaging about 15 to 20,000 followers that were following his page. In the last year, that has stopped. He hasn't moved maybe 40,000, 50,000 in the last year. His last video is that it came out 2 days ago, is up to 2 million views. Some of his videos are at 38 million views, and he hasn't moved more than 40, 50,000 like in a year. If you're telling me that's not shadow banning, I don't know what is. My page, you take my Facebook page, for example. I finally just crossed 20,000 followers. That's it. 20,000. I have over 22 million views on my page alone. So you're saying out of 22 million, just like 0.2% of that's the only followers you get from Facebook? Like, something else is going on here. The other issue I have with this is, Facebook in particular, who has also, banned Alex Jones and Infowars, had no problems taking money from Russia for a fucking year up until the election because they were running Facebook ads. You know exactly where that money's coming from. You know exactly where these accounts are coming from. And you have to approve these ads. Whenever because we do marketing on Facebook, whenever you do an ad, as soon as you click boost on that ad, it takes about 30, 40 minutes, and then you get a response from Facebook because they check the ad and say, all right, there's no foul language, there's no copyrighted music or whatever, and we're approving this ad.
Right.
I had an ad stopped 3 years ago. It was Helen Keller versus Nightwolves. Mm-hmm. It was just the trailer for it. We had taken out the swearing, and I got a message from them saying, hey, we're stopping this post. We're stopping this movie trailer. We think this is it violates our guidelines, and I was not given anything further other than that. Why? Mm-hmm. Like, why was that ad pulled?
Yeah.
So if you think that things like this aren't going on, I mean, this is the first step. Like, who's next? This morning, Candace Owens, we've talked about her on the show before. She was on Joe Rogan. Kanye was the one who made her famous. She was the black conservative. Her Twitter was shut down today. No reason. And then they released an apology statement later on in the afternoon saying, hey, it was our mistake on our end. It was a glitch in the system, but it was missing for a day. Given no reason whatsoever. It's happened to Trump. And they said, oh, we had a guy who was working here that accidentally hit the wrong button. What button are you what button are you hitting?
And then it also gets into like, is Facebook and these private companies allowed to decide what they want on there?
So,
that's not the government censoring you. That's not da-da-da. These are private companies.
These are privately owned companies. You're right. But if you think there's not going to be a fucking uprising after this, you're sorely mistaken. Look, when you're that big in the world and you're number 2 behind Joe Rogan, right, people are going to rage against the machine. I mean,
definitely.
You deleted all of Infowars pages. I mean, he had millions and millions of followers on that YouTube, all of it. Like, I mean, I would think, just looking at this and looking at these facts and looking at their statements, you're in for a pretty heavy lawsuit, I would imagine, at all of these companies. From Alex Jones and Infowars. Because then
does he have enough money to go against all of them?
I believe he does. And also, I believe that there's a lawyer out there who would probably do this pro bono, yeah. And say, hey, man, I'll fight the system on this. Like, I mean, the timing of all of this is really, really curious.
Yeah, I guess I'm just like, your theory is elections.
My theory is the election.
I'm kind of like, what happened that this was obviously in the works for a long time, because to get all of these people together and come to this, right? It's not something that would have just been like, hey guys, hey, Mr. YouTube or whatever.
Sure.
Right? I mean, it takes a long time to get them all
together, and it's a coordinated attack at 3 a.m. Like, so no one's up at 3 a.m. on a Sunday. Yeah, like, that's the best time to do it if you're thinking about it, because it's just like, hey man, everybody's sleeping, they're getting ready for work tomorrow. It's 3 a.m. No one's up at 3 a.m. on a Monday. No one. You got kids, you got whatever, you got to get ready for school. Like, that's the perfect time to do it. If you did it on a Saturday, you still wake up on a Sunday and you're like, oh, hey, where's this? That's the only time you would wake up and be like, wait, what? When did this happen? But this is, look, this just started a couple hours ago. So I'm really curious to see where this goes, because fuck, man, to be honest, like, it scares the shit out of me. Because you could deem things that we've said on this show as hate speech, probably. Really? I think so. Like, look, I've blatantly said I hated people on this show.
Right.
Like Lena Dunham or somebody like
Asians. Yeah.
Not Asians, but
me.
Yeah, you don't hate Asians.
Not
like,
for
it's
real.
In a joking sense.
It's a joke, but if they wanted to take it out of context.
If they wanted to take it out of context, same thing with this. Like, if they wanted to take, obviously they did take all of this out of context. Like
Alex Jones? I don't think so.
Yeah. But if you're viewing him as solely an entertainer, like magicians, those aren't real. That's fake. If you're look, you know how many fucking magic videos I've watched on Facebook and YouTube where somebody's pulling a string out of their eye or fucking levitating? Like you could say,
in a common sense world, though, you do believe there's a difference between things that we say and the things that Alex Jones says and does, right?
I think
in a common sense world.
I think anybody at home, everybody's entitled to their own thoughts and opinions. Yes, there is people that hate us. Yes, there is people that hate Alex Jones. That doesn't mean that you should take away the ability to have free speech. The one issue, though, is maybe you're right. Maybe it isn't free. Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, because it was Yang from Spotify. Those are privately owned companies.
Yeah.
So
it's not like
it
a
isn't public.
blacklist, and
But
he's going before Congress or whatever.
Everybody who's raged against, Russia rigging the election and Facebook putting up all these ads to sway voters one way or another, you taking down one of the biggest voices, conservative voice, that's swaying votes.
Yeah.
That would be like taking fucking, every late night talk show host off of TV because they were left. They believe in the left.
Right.
What's to stop any of it? Is my question. And look, this will drag out in courts. So you're going to nuke this voice, arguably one of the biggest voices that the conservatives have, 2 months before the election.
Really, really extreme conservatives, though. Like, he's not just the
yes,
voice
but you
of,
also have your
level-headed.
100%.
Let's be real
but
about
you have
what he represents.
But you have your fringe listeners.
Yeah.
You also have advertising. So like a lot of political campaigns and stuff advertise on his show.
Yeah.
That you're limiting their ability to get out to 35 million people.
Yeah. Dang, that's true.
A week.
Yeah.
A week. I mean that can swing an election for sure. And if you don't believe me, dial back to the shows in some of our shows in 2016 on Drinking Bros or whatever. I said when Jon Stewart left that year during the election and Trevor Noah took over, I think, and I strongly believe this, and this, and again, this was by his own volition, like he just decided to leave. But I think that swayed the vote because you didn't have a voice who was getting out, like all of his sound bites were funny and real and whatever. Like
common sense.
Yes. Yeah. You eliminated those millions and millions of views and that voice on air because his ratings were pretty decent. Not great, not spectacular, but they were, 2 to 3 million a night. Mm-hmm. But his viral clips, his video clips online were going out to millions. And that was the reason why Jon Stewart got paid so much money. It wasn't necessarily the live shows every night. It was how far his video views were going because everything was going viral.
Right.
And you look at a state like Michigan, where it came down to 10,000 votes. You took an important voice, Jon Stewart. He took himself off the air for that. But like, if you're telling me if Jon Stewart wasn't running, that he couldn't influence 10,000 people. I mean, not running, but on the air. Yeah. Couldn't influence his video clips and everything.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Same with Alex Jones.
Right. So I just go back and forth with this one.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't know.
But it's still free speech. And whether or not you agree with it or not, like, again, go back to the Maxine Waters thing. Face of the Democratic Party. She wants to run in 2020. She stated that numerous times. She's telling people to go find them in restaurants. Go hunt them down.
Right.
Why does she have did they take down her Facebook page? No, they didn't.
Because the company that she works for doesn't deem that hate speech. The companies that Alex Jones is putting his stuff out through do. And they have each one of those companies, they're not government run. Like each one of those companies has the right. She
is government run though. She works for the government.
Yes.
Alex Jones does not work for the government.
Yeah. So in that sense, like, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, to me, it's fucking ludicrous. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. And again, I don't agree with what Alex Jones does. Like, I don't agree with what he says. I think some of it is true. Some of it. But I think he's in the entertainment business, and he is an entertainer. The same way as a fucking magician or a mind reader or, a psychic. Who's the blonde? The Long Island medium.
Yeah.
Same thing. We have no proof of that. Like, she's able to pull up people's dead relatives and have full-on conversations. Why is that a crazy thing to say?
It's a weird comparison.
Why?
But, yeah.
She's on TV telling people, hey, your dead grandparents are talking to me right now, and they want you to know that I'm fine or everything else is fine and all this other shit is going on. Or, somebody, like, she's done murder cases. Hey, your sister was murdered, and it was this guy, and the guy was in it.
Did she?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
How do you know that's true?
Yeah.
How is any of that true And again, I view it as entertainment. I don't give a shit. But we know people, you and I know people who watch this stuff, this psychic medium shows, and believe everything that's going on to where you're like, all right. So are they not influencing people as well?
To do what? Just believe that their loved ones are still here with them, or to attack people?
Both. So
Long Island medium is getting people to hurt other people?
Not hurt other people, but like hypothetical, when she'll go into like murders or things like that, and she'll say it was a man and it was this person or whatever, like it could send you off down a trail. They've been hired. A lot of these mediums have been hired by police to help with investigations.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
I mean, you're telling people, oh, I have a feeling here at this house that a man did this in his 40s or what? Like, what? Why? Like to me, all of that's crazy. So like, if you're going to allow magicians, entertainers, fucking psychics, all of that shit, look, again, as long as you're not telling people to go to their house and kill them, what's the fucking harm in it? It's entertainment at the end of the day. You know, you take Spike Lee. We were watching the Trayvon Martin doc the other night. While that was all going on, he allegedly found George Zimmerman's address and said, go to this house. This is where he lives. Fucking show up and be there. Turns out it was the wrong George Zimmerman. And it was this old couple.
Who said that?
In their 70s. Spike Lee.
Okay.
The family of who all of these people showed up to their house demanding justice and wanting to kill somebody. Turns out it was like an old couple in their 70s. Wrong George Zimmerman. He got sued.
Right.
Spike Lee. They settled out of court, whatever the dollar amount was. I heard it was 7 figures. He didn't get banned. He didn't get banned from Twitter. He's still on there. Same platform as he told everybody to go show up at these people's houses and demand justice. Like, he didn't get banned. Where do you draw the line in all this stuff? And how bad is it going to get? To me. And again, I've probably watched Infowars maybe 2 or 3 times. So it's not like I'm a fucking gigantic fan. I don't agree with any, like, you know, a lot of the things that Alex Jones says. But like, when I view Alex Jones, I look at it like an entertainer where it's just, oh, he's outraged. This is crazy. But it's like, you know, conspiracy theories and all that stuff. Like that's online. That's on History Channel. There's conspiracy theory shows on all the fucking time. If you go to Netflix, currently they're airing that 9/11 conspiracy documentary. Do you believe that was a conspiracy, that they blew up the Twin Towers?
No, I personally don't.
Right. But Netflix is airing it.
Right.
Why? If you don't believe in conspiracies or conspiracy theories, you're telling the people that were inside that building, all of, you know, 3,000-4,000 people that died in that building.
I think if he was just spewing conspiracy theories, it would be different. And that's just the only difference. If it was just conspiracy theories and not trying to like assemble armies to hurt people. That's all. And I mean,
if you can pull up anything of him assembling an army,
okay,
I'd like to see.
Okay,
because an army is
I
people
can't pull
with
up
guns
anything
and
he's banned.
Not well, yeah, but
right.
An army is that's extreme. That's guns and fucking.
Well, you said how many? Not army, but I'm saying like a group of people to go and harass.
But people do that every single day on Twitter, where it's just like these marches. Great, we're going to march to so-and-so's house. Great, we're going to do this. Alyssa Milano the other day said if they remove the investigators on this Mueller thing, like we're take to the fucking streets.
Right.
How is that different than anything he's saying?
Yeah.
And who is the judge and jury on that? And why are you deciding that?
Yeah.
So to me, you're in a really dangerous spot. I'm real curious as to how this plays out. Because I mean, if your narrative right now is fake news, we're trying to get rid of fake news, which is, that was part of Facebook's statement, is that we're trying to get rid of fake news and all this other stuff. Mm-hmm. New York Times has fake news every single day. Right. Every single day. I would say they print a retraction on a story twice a week. So therefore, their articles were fake. Why are you deciding one versus the other? And the reason why I care about this is for the future. Look, you could wake up one day, watch part of the show or listen to part of the show and say, I hate it. This is fake news. I don't believe in it. And then they nuke our channel the same way they nuked ours. And then what?
Yeah.
What do you do from there? I mean, you're taking away somebody's living at that point. When Logan Paul got banned for showing a dead person hanging from a tree live on YouTube.
Yeah.
He got banned for a little bit and then they put his channel back up.
Right.
I mean, Alex Jones ever go out and show a dead body hanging from a tree? It's the same thing. Who is the judge and jury in all this shit? I don't get it, man. And to me, like, it's infuriating. And again, I'm not even a fucking fan of Alex Jones, but I don't want to see anybody censored or banned. Because then you start looking down the line. All right, probably Milo's next. He's got a massive following on Facebook.
Right.
I mean,
he gets banned all the time.
But for like 15, 30 days or whatever. And some of the shit he says is controversial. And like, yeah, maybe you could ban it,
Right.
But you could start going down the line with all these people. And what do you say? What do you say if you're an American citizen of like, hey, we want these guys back? Because their answer is like, we're a privately owned company. We can do that. I think if they released a statement saying that we are a privately owned company, we
have the right to fire anyone we want.
And we don't agree. We don't agree with what you're saying. We're yanking it. That's fine. But when you're saying hate speech, I think this is the one thing that these lawyers are going to hang this on for Alex Jones. Is what is deemed hateful, because then you can go in. There's when you get in these lawsuits like this, you get into something called discovery. So first there's an initial lawsuit. You go back and forth. You try to dismiss. Blah 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 blah. This gets drug out for a couple years. Then when you start to get down to a game time of a trial, it's called discovery, and each side has got to release articles of discovery saying why they did X or what the communications were when they involved this. So during these discoveries, you can go in and ask Apple for all of their emails. So what did you email Facebook? Did you email Spotify during this? And you can find out if this was a coordinated attack. I think that's probably what's going to happen in this. Because then if it comes out that it was, then what? I don't think you have him on hate speech. Because that's got to be deemed by probably the Supreme Court. And I think in a case like this, and again, this is all speculation, if this does go to a trial and he does sue these companies, I think you're going to get tied up in federal courts for a while. Because let's face it, any federal judge can just come in and fucking say, especially liberal judges, and this has happened to Trump all the time with the travel ban and all that shit.
Yeah.
You can come in and say, no, it wasn't. And then, great, you have to argue with them, and then it goes to the Supreme Court. But you're looking at 3 to 4 years down the road to probably get an answer out of this from the Supreme Court of whether or not what he's spewing is hate speech. In the meantime, not only did you knock out all of his fan base for this election, but then 2020 as well. And I think if you're telling me they don't know this and how the justice system works, like that's crazy. It's crazy to me. And again, the reason I worry about this is it could happen to us. Yeah. You could read my new book, When Darkness Falls, He Doesn't Catch It, and just you could literally say to yourself, "There's things that I find hateful or fucking non-PC or whatever," and it's like, then what? You start banning books, and look, the books are sold on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, all that shit. You can, those companies could come in and say, "Hey, we don't like this book or what you're selling." So I don't know. This is a really precarious situation, and to me, this is really fucking dangerous territory. Because I mean, there is a lot of hate, what you could classify as hate speech going on the news, out of our politicians. Like, where do you draw the line at this? So this story just started. right now, I'm curious as to see where it goes. It's blowing up on Twitter, but again, Twitter's shadow banning people. So like, you're just silencing an entire. You're controlling the news now at this point, whatever people see. So it's crazy. But look, we'll get to the sponsors.
But the beauty is that you and I can have conversations, debates. We still live under the same roof and we're fine.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I'm just saying everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Being able to talk about things and even have differing opinions.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's huge. And that's kind of the core of this as well. It's like being able to look at things, Alex Jones, as a differing opinion or whatever. Rational people are able to do that. But I'm just saying, like, being able to have all these different voices.
Right.
Why can't we? I don't know.
We can, but why? But it's when you start eliminating.
It's looking like we might not be able
when you
to.
start eliminating different voices is when the real problem starts. And look.
Do I wish I could ban you sometimes? Yeah.
Yeah. Probably do.
Yeah.
Probably
do.
But
I can't. I can't, and that's just because it's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
Once I ban you from the house, then what?
Yeah. Where am I to live then, Jabes? But yeah, man, this is let's see if they fucking pulled his Twitter account.
I mean, they must have, right?
They did not.
So is he on there?
He is not
responding.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
He is not. Oh wait. There we go. Right now.
Breaking news.
12 minutes ago.
Okay, this just happened, guys.
No, I mean for real. 12 minutes ago on Twitter. Alex Jones' statement: "We've been banned completely on Facebook, Apple, and Spotify. What conservative news outlets will be next? The one platform they can't ban and will always have our live stream is on Infowars.com, which obviously." I figured that was the next step, that he was going to have his own website. Mm-hmm. The thing about a website, though, is look, you lose your inability to share all your fans, all that other stuff, especially and I go back to Matt Best with this one too, like when you've been building a platform like Facebook or a YouTube account for years and years and years, because that's your business. Facebook. These are classified on Facebook as business accounts. So is my page. So is my Instagram page. When you classify that as a business, you're shutting down someone's business. And how many years they spent working for you? You know how many millions of dollars Alex Jones has brought in for fucking YouTube, Facebook, all of these years? Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
So Twitter, look, he's still up on Twitter. But I he said the same thing that I said. Who's next? You're probably looking at Milo on the chopping block. And look, you're banning all of these voices coming into the election. That's fucked, man.
Yeah.
This is a crazy time right now. And usually I wouldn't say shit like this, but can you remember, in all honesty, can you remember anybody getting banned from anything? Like online or like?
No.
I can't either.
Not this big. I'm sure they do it all the time with like really extremist, small little websites.
Well, they try to do it for like fake accounts and things like that, like
or just straight up, like you were saying, like racist.
Yeah,
really
yeah.
Like they definitely take that stuff down, and they always have, and ban those people. But you don't really know about it because they're not as big,
right?
So yeah,
man. Again, fascinating. Look, we'll get into sponsors. I know we rambled on. This is just going on right now, and it's just like, holy shit. I don't know what's going to happen.
So he'll be putting
this.
Videos on Infowars.
Yeah,
hopefully a response.
Shows and videos. The problem is like audio wise, because we have it with this show. There's only like two hosting sites, like Libsyn.com or Podbean.com, that you can put your stuff up. But then even then, it's got to go through iTunes or because you can't. You
have to go
if you're on your phone. Which look, 80% of everybody's podcast audience is coming from your phone. Mm-hmm. 80% of social media is coming out of your mobile these days. Only 20% is coming from hardtop computer. If you wanted to listen to Alex Jones, just say, let's say at the gym or whatever, and it was in your pocket, you can't leave a website page open. As soon as that screen closes, that's it. It ends the audio.
Yeah. Or like Dropbox or whatever. Right?
Yeah.
Or it's like, yeah.
And if you're banned, the other thing is if you're banned from iTunes, that means you can't be on Apple TV. So let's say you wanted to have your own app. You couldn't have your own app to even get this out to people.
Right.
I would say, oh my God, iPhones. Yeah. You couldn't even put an app up on Apple that was an Infowars app if you wanted to. Wow. What? So you get it out through a website, but like people don't really go to websites. I don't go to websites that much. Do you? Do you go to people's personal websites?
No.
I don't either.
No.
I have a page under my name and it's just saved. I don't really use it anymore and it's kind of blank because everybody goes to Facebook. Of like every business contact I go to is like, great. What's your Facebook? What's your fucking Instagram, Twitter?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I'll hit you up through there.
If I need to look at product or something like that, I'll go,
Yeah.
or look at someone's like pictures of stuff, product, makeup, whatever wise. Like I'll go to their website, but it's always annoying.
Yeah.
And it always like takes forever and it never like works right.
No. And, like
So
the
it's
payment
always
options
just
are
like,
weird.
Is there like a Pinterest thing I can do?
Yeah, is there a Pinterest thing? Sponsors though. I have really gone off the rails today. I apologize.
Why don't you take it to a one, friend?
Oh, not
Why don't you take it to a one shot?
a one shot?
Yeah, just you.
Oh,
Just you and your glory.
We'll go to a one. We'll go to a one for this.
For the book, huh?
For the book, yeah. We're 7 days away, 1 week away. 1,100 copies shy of the bestseller list. That is it. 1,100 copies shy. When darkness falls, he doesn't catch it. I know a lot of people have said to me, because that's the last couple of shows, they're like, hey man, I'm just waiting for opening week to buy it. Yes, you can buy it opening week. That counts.
And that's fine.
It counts.
But don't forget.
Sales close for the bestseller list on August 20th. The show is going out August 7th, so total 13 days. But look, if you pre-order it now, you can get it to your house on the 14th. Next week, it'll be in your lap, and you can fucking enjoy all of it. It's a sequel to A Night She Cries While He Rides a Steed. Funniest book of all time. Look, get it before it gets banned. Fuck, when this comes out, I don't know what they're going to say with the sex scene with Harriet Tubman. This could get banned too. Buy it while you can. Get me on the list. And then I'll never bring it up again. Never bring it up again.
That's the most important part.
Yeah, that's the most important part. Next up, we've got a little blackriflecoffee.com. Drinking it right now. Whew. Got a little BRCC in me.
Me too.
Yeah. Look at those mugs. Hold up the mugs.
These are my
There it is
fave.
for the video show.
I always say it's like a really nice restaurant, like diner cup.
It is.
Where you get that diner coffee that
amazing.
you love so much.
Yep. The quality is amazing.
better.
Yeah. 100% veteran owned. It's a premium roast to order coffee. Fresh. Bag it up in-house. Ship it out right to you. The best in the biz, man. I've been drinking this shit for 2 years before they even a sponsor or they were my friends. I started drinking it forever. Never been a Starbucks fan. I actually enjoy their coffee. They got bags, they got K-cups, their apparel, their mugs are second to none. Love blackriflecoffee.com. Use the one-time promo code REVOLUTION for 20% off. I would highly recommend you using it on their coffee club of the month. Shit just comes to your house same date of every single month, and it's about $4 cheaper than Costco. You can pick the bags, the blends, all of it. You can even mix and match. It's great. That thing has changed my life. Love it. Next up, we got StrikeForceEnergy.com.
Boom, 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 boom. Shabloinkers.
Oh my gosh.
I don't have room for the breath.
No, you don't anymore. Baby's coming.
I'm a short gal.
Yeah, you are. You're very six-ish.
How many messages did you get?
Six-ish, a lot. A lot. I'm gonna hold this up because this was here and this is no lie. Because a lot of people ask, like, dude, do you really use the fucking thing? Yeah, I do.
Oh yes,
I really use the product.
It's not a joke.
So I was up writing the show and I needed a little power up. The LaCroix and I go grape. Grape's my favorite. The LaCroix and grape. This is what it looks like, by the way. It's just a little pouch. Only 99 cents a packet. Shit lasts longer than 5 Hour Energy. So you're not spending like $5 on a fucking thing. Put that in LaCroix. Whew. You were sailing, take me away. I-O-N, yearly. Big fan of it. Keeps me going. That's my pre-workout. It's my crash, and it was my late night jam last night. Go to strikeforceenergy.com, pick up one of their 4 amazing flavors, original orange, lemon, and obviously make America grape again. They get a 10-pack, a 40-pack, and a 750-milliliter bottle. The rest on your bar top or countertop, and you can just boom, boom, pop a couple squirts in and go. Go to strikeforceenergy.com. Use the promo code REVOLUTION for 20% off, and that's good every time. Also, for our listeners around the world, because we have a lot in like Australia and the Middle East and all that stuff, they ship everywhere in the entire world. It's one of the few products that does. Oh, and this book, by the way, is available in the entire world.
Oh.
Yeah, it's Australia. You can buy it in Australia.
Nice.
You can buy it everywhere. But Revolution, promo code StrikeForceEnergy, 20% off. Next up, we've got GrillYourAssOff.com.
Flip it.
Oh, flip it.
Oh, flip it.
Their seasonings are amazing. I had a filet over the weekend. God damn it. What would you put on that filet?
I do the meat one.
Was it the gunpowder one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Medusa.
That's it. Medusa. Yeah.
Medusa steak seasoning is literally the best. It has everything in there that you can think to put in.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, ass season's over. It's grilling season. Speaking of grilling season, we're going to be going around to a bunch of huge sporting events, tailgating. If you were in Philadelphia, September 6th, going to the Eagles game, hit me up online. We're looking for a good tailgate to party with, using some Grill Your Ass Off there for the meats, and their seasoning's second to none. You're going to buy it anyways. You might as well buy it from a 100% veteran-owned company. Also, their beef jerky is second to none. I've been holding up these empty bags. They never make it to Showtime. They never make it because I always eat it. Their beef jerky is incredible. 4 amazing flavors. Salt and pepper, a ridge, and then sweet and spicy is my jam.
Your jam.
Cowboy style, obviously. 4 for $25, the All-American pack. That's the one. And they have also got a subscription for that shit. And the mugs are on the way. We're going to put the mugs up on the show. I'm amped about those. I saw the pictures of them. We got some T-shirts. They got a bunch of stuff at GrillYourAssOff.com.
It would be cool for whatever tailgate that you go to if you bring them some Grill Your Ass Off stuff.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it with them.
Just do it.
Go to GrillYourAssOff.com. I have it. I don't want to take off. Go to GrillYourAssOff.com. Use the promo code REVOLUTION for 15% off. And again, first tailgate of the year is we're going to opening game, Philadelphia Eagles versus Atlanta Falcons. The following weekend, we will be at the Ohio State TCU game in Dallas. So if anybody tailgates in Dallas, let us know. Because then the following night, after the Ohio State TCU game, we're also going to the Sunday night game of the Dallas Cowboys, New York Giants. So we're going Dallas back to back. We're going to be in Dallas the whole weekend. So find me, hit me up, let me know if you're tailgating out there. Grill Your Ass Off should be your seasoning of choice there. Last but not least, the ringtone's out. Everybody's buying the ringtone, James, for straightrazors.com.
Oh, that's a clean cut. Smooth. You like it?
Hate speech. Hate speech.
You like it. Yeah. I get banned.
You get banned.
That is hateful.
And iTunes is even running the ringtone. They're selling the ringtone. So is Amazon. Oh my gosh. I wonder if you'll get banned for it.
Anyone who buys it, I apologize to anyone around you.
It's actually really good though. Like it's a really funny fucking ringtone. And a lot of people have been buying it.
It'll be funny for a while.
I didn't know if anybody would or not.
Bit.
It's really funny.
Yeah.
You can buy the You Like It ringtone on iTunes on a Ross Patterson Revolution. That's dead serious. That's no lie. But straightrazors.com's got the finest shaving products in the biz. How long until they're putting up T-shirts with You Like It on it, I wonder?
Ooh.
I don't know. They got straight razors, safety razors as well. Looks like your normal razor. The blades are better, though, than the other ones, so you're saving yourself about a day and a half of shaving. They got shampoos, beard oils, conditioners, mustache waxes, anything you need to be a real man in this life. You can find it at straightrazors.com. And put your ding-a-ling on it. No, that's probably not going to be a catchphrase.
No.
It's not.
Don't try and take over.
Yeah, that's not going to be a catchphrase. That was dumb of me.
That was dumb.
That was dumb of me, James.
James.
Something interesting that I find, I don't know if you have the answer to this. I don't know why I ask you sometimes things about stuff going on in the world.
Thanks.
We had Brendan Schaub on Drinking Bros podcast a few weeks ago. By the way, Brendan has his own line of coffee, Black Rifle Coffee too.
Big Brown
From Fighter and the Kid.
shop.
Yeah, the Bring Brown Coffee. It's fucking awesome.
I know. And I love the bag and the whole design and everything.
Yeah. Go there. You can get that promo code of Revolution works on Brendan Schaub's coffee as well, man.
Sweet.
It's great. The packaging is amazing. This fucking guys just do it. One of the things that I was wanting to talk to you about, and again,
why me? But go ahead.
Why you?
Because I'm just here.
And I
know.
I don't think you'll know the answer to this.
Well, I bet I won't.
I don't think you'll have the answer to this at all.
Okay, go ahead.
At all.
Try me.
Nude scenes in a movie.
Sure.
Or a TV show.
Okay.
What's the thin gray line on that? As an actor or an actress, do you know going in, like, hey, if you read a script and it says you're partially nude or you were nude in this, like, do you take the job or not take the job based on that?
I think I've been nude in every movie that I've done.
Sure. Let's not put that out there for the audience because now they're going to find it. But
not everyone.
No, not everyone. But you know going in before you take the role, and you have your choice to accept it or not accept it at that point.
Yes, you should. They can't spring it on you like one day of filming being like, hey, guess what? I think we're going to try and do this one nude. It's definitely something they even ask in the audition if it's a real production.
Yes, and that's happened to me as well.
Yeah,
so like any nude
and
role, and we tell the actors, hey, this is real. Like we're casting you.
You definitely know going in because I've been in a movie before too that like it was kind of like vague-ish and I decided not to, which is not good, but it was just the way that it was going didn't feel right. But
sure.
It was a low budge. Like I wasn't getting paid, so I could kind of do whatever I wanted. But I don't know. What's the question? What's the sitch?
So the question is this. Evangeline Lilly, who was on Lost, she's also an Ant-Man and Wasp. I think I told you the story. She did Lost and then it was just like, cool, I'm good, deuce, I'm going out. And then just came back and just got whatever she wanted, which is amazing. She did a podcast the other day and she was really complaining about she had to take her clothes off and be partially nude for the scene on Lost.
Okay.
She said she was angry about it and she was crying and all this other stuff. You're on network TV. Lost was on ABC.
Right.
You know they're not going to show you nude.
Right.
What's the issue?
What's her issue?
As a woman, like, would you be? Because she said it was during season 3, so you're already 3 seasons into this.
Already in. You
but
can't say no.
You also know that they're not going to. They can't show nudity on ABC. So like they're trying to get the shot. Mm-hmm. What's your feeling on that?
And she was needing to be like nude, but they weren't going to show it. But she was nude on set, essentially.
Partially nude on set. What's the ruling on that for a woman, you think?
To me, like everyone's different and you sign contracts and things of this nature. And for me personally, I don't have an issue with it. I can see other people having an issue. For me, I just want the scene to like play
and be as realistic as possible. Yeah.
To me, I hate when like a girl's having sex with like a bra on. You know what I mean? Like that kind of like takes me out where it's like, just take the fucking bra off. Like
sure.
Don't maybe not show your nipple, but like let's make this as real as possible. That's where I come from. On the movie that I'm talking about, that it just wasn't going in a right direction and I decided that I didn't actually want to be in this one scene completely nude is because they weren't the way that they were filming it. The guy that was my co-star was like, and writer and producer was being kind of creepy with me and previously to that, and it just didn't feel like a good thing.
Right.
When it does feel good and you feel safe and they get people out and like, you know, everyone's cool, then I don't see the issue.
Okay.
But there's just so many, like, because, you know, you're like,
I
they'll hit
yeah.
on you and then you're like, oh, and now I like need to be naked with you and you're being creepy with me. And I don't know. I don't know what the issue is. With that big of a show, I find it hard to believe that they wouldn't get people out except for the people that needed to be there.
Yeah, they do.
Again, mine was super low budge where like literally I don't know what could have happened, right? But in this situation and for me, you do what's best for the script, and she's got a great body and like who fucking I don't know.
That's the way I view it, but I'm not a woman, so I can't speak on that really.
There's so many different factors of like maybe a crew guy was like weird. I don't know. There's so many different factors, but if it literally was just like I don't know.
Because I look at it like this as an actor, because she's an actor, same as me. I do whatever it takes to get the shot so that it looks the most real it could possibly get. I don't really give a fuck what is entailed in that.
We were watching Sharp Objects last night, and on
HBO.
Messina just had, I mean, a straight up D in his hand.
Yeah, he had his dick in his hand.
Semi-hard.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they were going for it. And that...
He was stroking it. Which you don't really see that often.
You don't really see, like they're
whoa.
Usually like sock on it. Like I know I'm naked, but I don't want you to see that I'm like kind of getting hard, having like a kind of sex scene with this actress.
Well, it was a sex scing.
Right.
He ended up boning her afterwards, but.
Oh, that's right. They didn't really show it, but they don't show it. Like, and it was dark and it was, you know, it was a second and there's a lot of trust, I'm sure, that has to go into all of that. But like for the most part, like those guys, you know, it takes a badass to be like, yeah, is this what we need to do? I'll put my fucking dick in my hand.
Yeah.
Whatever. And then for Amy Adams to be cool with that too. Like he's straight up naked, like jerking off motion on her. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So everyone has to be like, is this the best thing?
Yeah.
Did they like the director? Who was the director that time for her? Was it different?
So J.J. Abrams issued an apology this morning and said, I apologize for making her do that, blah, 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 blah. And look, this is what the world is and the culture is now. So let's not pretend that this is shocking anymore. But I wanted to ask you from a woman's perspective, because I can't answer that. I as an actor perspective, I can, where it's just like, I'll do whatever it fucking takes. And we've done some,
and that's basically my answer.
You and I too have done some really fucked up shit that was dangerous to try to get the shot in movies. Yeah.
Because it needed to be realistic and like, again, bra off or nude, knowing that you're not going to show it, whatever. Like for me, that's just always what I've done.
Yeah.
Because I want it to be realistic. Because I know what it's like when you see like, oh, she was uncomfortable and she like wanted to leave her white panties and white bra on while she's having sex.
Yeah.
Rip it off.
Yeah.
You stupid bitch. Now, I don't know.
Because again, our dangerous situations were like more than that. Like shit, we flew fighter jets that we should not have. Those guys all died 2 months later.
Exactly. Like I was more scared doing that and like got sick in the helicopter and all of this.
Yeah.
Taking the bra off was like, oh.
Yeah.
I'm not going to die from it.
Sure. Yeah. I wondered what your response is like, because I can't answer something like that. And I was surprised to read it. I was like, shit. I just assume every actor, like real actor, just tries to do whatever they can to get the shot, and then you move on from there. I mean, fuck. Tom Cruise jumped off a building and broke his leg, for Christ's sakes. Yeah.
And then even like girls like with sex scenes and like full on, like in Californication or all of these where I don't think less of them, even if it's like a hardcore, like they're. Yeah. Because that's what the scene needed.
That's what the scene needed,
fucking went for it. To me, personally, that was like badass. I think it's, I don't like when they won't go as far as they need to go. And look, you look at this show, like she was the hot girl in the show. She was the lead of this show. Like, sex sells. Fucking Matthew Fox was shirtless every goddamn day in that thing. Like, so was the other guy, Josh Holloway. Like, right.
He never bitched. Like, oh, you want to take my fucking shirt? You want to show my ass again? Great. Yeah, let's do it. Who cares? Weird.
But that's what I think.
Another thing that I want to admit to that I thought was weird, but now I don't anymore. I want your take on this. Like, so again, I don't mean to go back to Brendan Shaw, but like he was talking about fashion on our show and how he's super into fashion and all that stuff and why he loved that gig at E, which I was surprised to hear. I was like,
no, he loved it.
He not only loves it, but he loves fashion, loves fashion in general. I was like, that made me understand why he did that gig. Yeah. Even though I thought it was off brand, but it turns out it wasn't.
It's not.
That's what he loves, which is awesome. That's fine. He's a big sneakerhead guy who just loves fucking sneakers more than life itself. I always thought that was kind of ridiculous. Like, it's just a ridiculous culture of like, why are people spending this money for shoes?
Why are guys getting that into shoes?
All of this shit. Yeah. But for sneakers, you know? I went through this over the weekend. I had a mild obsession. I've been writing this new script for the janitor for the new movie. And late at night, whenever you search something nowadays, obviously they fucking track you online and then it'll show up in the corner of every fucking page you do. Right. Till the end of time now, until you actually buy that item.
Yeah, exactly.
There was a pair of Nike Air Maxes that I saw that were just dope as fuck. And I'm like, man, I want those shoes. Sold out everywhere. Couldn't get them anywhere. They're now going for like $250. There was a moment where I genuinely debated of like, man, I really want these fucking shoes. Do I want these shoes because they're sold out, or do I want them because they're cool? Like, I don't know. And now that's merged in my mind where I'm like, fuck. Yeah. But look, they're on the page that's up right now. And like, God damn it, I really want these fucking shoes. I'm kind of starting to understand it now where I'm just like, right. Girls go through the same thing, right?
Yeah. And so I guess it's kind of newer for guys to be obsessed in the same way or make shoes as big a part of their wardrobe as girls always have, where it's like it makes the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know
I mean? Yeah.
And so that's just, and Brendan's like the epitome of, are you Metro or are you not? Totally fine with it. Totally comfortable with it. But definitely like, I care about my hair, my skin, my clothes, my shoes in a way that's like a lot.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, I think you should.
I kind of get this addiction. Yeah. I scrolled through. There was a Netflix doc called Sneakerheads. I think I'm going to have to peep it now.
And just see the whole thing.
The whole world.
Because like, they get really crazy, though, and ugly.
Yeah. Look, and I don't like, when your shoes show up and look like a fucking, Jackson Pollock painting, I'm not down with that.
But they're Gucci.
Like, exactly. Yeah. I don't really give a fuck about that.
Well, we'll see.
Because I'm also not loyal to a brand where it's just like, all right, like I enjoy Nike, New Balance, Adidas, Saucony, whatever. Like
Puma.
Yeah. I don't, as long as they're cool looking, I don't give a shit. I'll wear them. But I'm not like down to one. But yeah, these Air Max shoes I wanted. I was just like, what the fuck? They're in a specific color. They had all the other colors except for this one. It was called like a wolf gray. And I was like, God damn it, I want that. Can't get it. I couldn't get it anywhere. And the other part that's fascinating to me about it on the other end of the spectrum is there was a couple items that I had wanted, like Ohio State items, that I had wanted to buy, and they were sold out. One of them was a pair of Nike shoes, but from like 2016 or something like that. I had liked the fit of them, but this one color was sold out for like 2 years. And they were like, we don't have any more. And there was this like a duffel bag. There was a standard joke of me whenever I travel. I've been carrying this blue Southwest bag.
That they like gave you because you had to like
you know the story behind this? So Matt and I are doing a gig in Vegas, and then we're flying back to Salt Lake City to record some podcasts together and shoot a video. And my bag was over by like 10 pounds. And they were like, sir, it's going to be $100. Or you can buy this Southwest bag for $25 for free, and then this bag ships for free. And I was like, oh. well, I guess I'll do that. So I pulled out, 10, 12 pounds worth of that, stuffed it in this blue Southwest bag. It is emblazoned Southwest, giant letters.
Bright.
Yeah, and bright blue. It looks like the fucking wing of the plane.
But it's like a perfect size.
Perfect size.
And it's like it fits the right amount of stuff.
The material is actually surprisingly nice, and it's lasted. So we moved. All of our stuff was in storage for a few months while the houses got interchanged. And I had to go on like 6 different flights, and I had to carry this Southwest travel bag because it was the only thing I had. Well, I'd wanted this one, like old school Ohio State one, and they said it was sold out. When this Urban Meyer controversy struck up, the things on my feeds, like when you go to pages again, if you search anything ever, they'll come back and find you like, buy this now. Until you buy it. Those 2 items that I had searched for 2 years ago popped up and said, hey, these are available and they're now on sale. You can buy them now. And I was just like, assuming that Ohio State was disgraced or something like that or whatever. Right. And it was, I think 2 a.m. I was up writing, and I would say this was Friday night. And I looked, not only were both of these things available for sale, they were cut in half. And I was like, I'll fucking buy these right now. Are they purposely holding these things back, like shoes and shit like that?
I think, and I've always told you that, but I think.
Why'd you say that in like a really quiet voice like that?
Because I've said it.
Are you worried about censorship? Are you worried somebody's going to stop you now? Like, what's going on?
Yeah. No, I've said that. Like, I think even like Fighter and the Kid, their shirts. Like, I'm like, there's no way that's sold out. But I want it because it's sold out. So I feel like
sometimes they only make a certain number
for sure, just
because of print issues. Like I can tell you this,
but definitely with like girls' shoes and stuff like that. Like I for sure think that they do that.
Gotcha.
Sold out, even though it's not sold out.
And that's what I think with some of these, because I'm looking at these Nikes and I'm like, you're fucking Nike. Mm-hmm. Why is this shit sold out? This doesn't make any sense.
No reason why it should be.
No, like for Fighter and the Kid, that's you're probably making 100 shirts or whatever. Like look for Gene Vandenham shirts. That's a great example. We did it for charity. We did 2 runs for charity.
You only had a certain amount.
Well, because you have to pay for them up front.
Yes.
So what you're worried about is paying for all these shirts and then
nobody getting them. Yeah.
Well, or having too much inventory where it's just like, shit, I just paid all this money and they're just sitting there on the shelf. Mm-hmm. I didn't know how many we're going to sell. Each of them sold out, and like one was 27 minutes. I think the next one was like 42 minutes.
Right.
And but I didn't know, or else I would have ordered more. Mm-hmm. So but I have a hard time believing that with Nike.
Yeah.
I don't think that they do that type of shit. But I don't know. And for those of you out there, because I've gotten a lot of messages of like, hey man, I didn't get in on the first Gene Vandenham shirts. Will they be back? Yes. We're going to do a run after Thanksgiving. So Black Friday, we'll do a huge run of Gene Vandenham shirts. Nice. Stock them up, for Christmas or whatever. And you can enjoy yourself. Jabes.
Okay. Sounds good.
But with all the conspiracy going on in the world today, and the conspiracy theories, one thing that we have in this cruel, dark world that is not conspiracy based is your crime corner.
Oh, crime corner. Yeah, so only
these are
facts.
Real stories, only facts.
Only facts. No embellishments. All right, let's do it. So this one is near and dear to me.
Sure.
Because of my hatred for this place. It comes from Michael Crichton.
Okay.
Detective Michael Crichton.
Like the author?
That's the listener.
Sure, no, I know.
The detective. But I think it's like the writer. Crichton? Crichton? Crichton. Michael Crichton.
Yeah, boots on the ground. Michael
Crichton.
Sure,
boots on the ground. I don't
Precincts.
know.
Yep.
Oh, it's late in the show. I gotta get it together. Okay, so naked man arrested at Planet Fitness.
Yeah.
He thought it was a judgment-free zone.
This was a big story, actually.
You know this one?
Yeah. I do.
Okay,
actually.
then forget it.
No.
Man. So he allegedly took his clothes off at the front desk. He's my hero, by the way, because I hate this place.
Yeah, you hate Planet Fitness.
It's the worst.
Yep.
And if I was a different type of hero, I would do exactly what this guy did. His
Sure.
picture will be
On your wall.
behind me.
Did you see what he looked like?
Yeah.
He looks like Leo from The Bachelor.
Yes, but like a homeless,
Yeah.
kind of scraggly.
Yeah.
Not the person you want to
No.
do this at the planet.
Not the hero. He's not the hero we want. He's the hero we need.
Right. So and he exercised naked Sunday, according to local reports. And
Yeah.
he told police when they came to arrest him that he thought it was a judgment-free zone. He was arrested without incident, just went with them as if this was planned. It's a free speech, if you will.
Oh,
Well,
yeah. You bet it is.
Does that go with... Gosh, I don't know. I don't
your
know
body.
anymore.
I will say this. When you walk in the door, there's a sign that says, hey, you've got to be wearing clothes. So, man.
Why would they have to say that? Hey, you've got to be wearing clothes. What a shit place that is.
No.
The Planet Fit purple and yellow.
Man, I will say this. There is a lot of people that press it. And I think they started this rule because there was a lot of wait, this is dudes, by the way. So I'm not talking about chicks. There was a lot of dudes that were working out shirtless, oiled up, fucking sweating on all the shit, and they were just like, "Hey, man, you got to put a fucking shirt on." There's a lot of people that like to run on the treadmill without shirts on, like the type.
That's
that
true.
type
That's
of shit.
true.
I've even seen people running barefoot on the treadmill, and
I feel like I've seen that too, or at least those little
well, the foot gloves,
footies.
Yeah, the foot mittens. But yeah, this story was a big story. I laughed because I was up really late when this broke. I laughed for 1,000 years. And Planet Fitness was trending on Twitter for all day long because of this story.
Sure.
And then I saw the guy, and it made me laugh hysterically. The other one that I'm going to add to this crime corner, it's going to be a double crime corner. You should probably pop that audio effect up twice.
Sure. Why don't you go ahead?
There was a Florida man that brought a live alligator into a liquor store.
Yes, I saw that.
And bought a 12-pack and then, bounced after that, carrying it the whole way. Why this alligator didn't attack him or whatever. And then they interviewed him the next day.
Yeah.
Man, I was hammered,
he doesn't
blackout,
remember it.
Doesn't remember it. And that to me was the greatest crime corner I've ever seen. I don't know what, because they're charging him. I don't know what that charge is going to be. Technically, it's just took an animal into the store.
Right.
I've seen
women
in LA take their fucking dogs into grocery stores all the time.
Right.
Who are you to say that this gentleman couldn't bring in his alligator into a store? Granted, it wasn't his alligator, but my thing is like, how do you go out and find an alligator? It's like, and then decide, oh shit, man, I'd really like to take it, one, and then two, fuck, man, I'm going into the store. I don't want the alligator to get away. I'm going to go ahead and take it into the convenience store, just under my arm. If you look at the video, it is under his arm, and he's just walking around with it like it is, a pug, like, a pug puppy. It was amazing. That guy is a real hero. And I salute him. That should be your crime corner of the year. Is there? I think you should have a crime corner like wall of fame.
Okay,
that's what I think. I think you should be printing these people out, and that should be your backdrop. I think as all of these weird
the crime corners.
Yeah, all these weird fucking people that were arrested for crime corners. Because we got a lot of comments on the picture that you put up for the guy, the no arm painter, of what that guy actually looked like, and it was frightening and awesome. But I think it'd be good. Yeah, if you had a nice wall of crime, that could be your new thing, your wall of crime, your crime corner. Just bought a bunch of weird, cheap frames and put them up there.
Okay.
I'd be down with that.
All right.
I'd be down with that. Again, we hope we're not banned. We hope we don't get canceled, but you never know. So this is our last show. We love you, and we thank you for listening. I don't know who's next on this list, but it's only going to grow. I can promise you that. There's going to be a chopping block of people getting nuked from these social media sites. And I don't know who's next or don't know why, but I'll be listening to Rogan this week, and I'll be curious as to hear his thoughts. He had Alex Jones on his show, and it was like the internet melted down that day. I think it might have been his highest downloaded episode of all time for both of them. I mean, you combine the two biggest fan bases on the planet, and they got loose for like 4 hours. Did you ever see that one?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, he was drinking whiskey, smoking weed on the show together. Like they went. Alex Jones is sweating, talking about all that shit.
Coked out.
Yeah, I mean, and look, I do think some of the things he says are true, and there is a kernel of truth in them. Like, yeah. So I don't know. Freedom of speech is freedom of speech. As long as you're not telling people to kill other people, I don't see the harm in it. But others do. Watch out for Google, Facebook, and Spotify now. That's weird. Spotify's trying to jump into this fray. Good luck. For Jesse Wiseman, a.k.a. the Jables, I am Ross Patterson. This is The Revolution. Good night, everyone.
Good night.